Hello, 20-2. Today we're going to be going over the subtopic or body paragraph breakdown so that you guys can finish this over the week. Right off the start, we have what the template shows. We have our topic sentence, which is basically the support to your thesis or a restatement of what your thesis means or the point you're making in this paragraph. Reference from the plot or the text. Comment, explaining how your reference backs up your opinion. Reference, comment, transition. It says ×2 here for the comments because sometimes it does take a sentence or two to justify your reference or to give explanation to what reference and then introduce the next one. Our topic sentence. Every paragraph should include a topic sentence that identifies the main idea of the paragraph. A topic sentence also states the point the writer wishes to make about the subject. Generally, the topic sentence appears at the beginning of the paragraph. It is often the paragraph's very first sentence. Paragraph's topic sentence must be general enough to express the paragraph's overall subject, but it should be specific enough that the reader can understand the paragraph's main subject and point. So, this is from the OWL at Purdue, which is a writing resource that's widely known. But basically, your topic sentence tells the reader what's coming. It tells the reader that this relates to the thesis and that your point's going to be further proven in this paragraph. It should be general and not too specific, but give the reader enough to know what you're talking about. Next, we have our references. Here you should be finding quotes or paraphrasing information from the text, which in this case is a film, and the short story that's attached to it. A paraphrasal is your own rendition of essential information and ideas expressed by someone else, presented in a new form. So this is you saying what happened in the film or what someone said in the film in your own words, but while supporting and giving all the information that the film gave and giving credit to the filmmakers and writers. We're going to look at the 6 steps to paraphrasal. So you're going to read or rewatch, in our case, or both, the original passage until you understand its full meaning. The essence must be completely grasped here when paraphrasing. Set the original aside and write your own paraphrasal on a note card. Jot down a few words below your paraphrase to remind you later how you envision using this material. At the top of the note card, write a keyword or phrase to indicate the subject of your paraphrase. So you're rewriting the quote, you're rewriting the point from the original. Now you're going to go back and check your own rendition with the original to make sure that you're accurately expressing all the essential information in new form. It has to be there and it has to be new. And use quotation marks to identify any unique term or phraseology you have borrowed from the source. So if we're talking about a specific term that's not typically found elsewhere that you're reusing from the source, please use it. Could be thug from The Hate U Give, you would put that in quotes. Okay? And then record the source, including the page on or the film that you're using, on your note card so that you can credit it easily if you decide to incorporate it into your essay. So if I ask you about something, you should be able to tell me where you found it. Quoting. When quoting a film, please be sure to credit who is speaking the line. Please. And that your information is accurate. You might have to rewatch it a bunch of times to get this. Consider phrasing the reference so that the reader knows both who the speaker is and who the line is being spoken to. Now remember, you guys are allowed 1 paragraph of your own personal experience, and because of that, sometimes you might get into quoting people you know or quoting yourself. An example of what a quote looks like. When departing for his final standoff against Spider's gang, Walt exclaims his true feelings towards Tao, stating, "Look, you've come a long way, and I'm proud to say that you're my friend, but you've got your whole life ahead of you. But me, I finish things. That's what I do, and I'm doing it alone." Ensure that if you are quoting from an external source that you're giving them credit for their information. Okay, so make sure that your quotes are not only given properly and that the information is there with the credit, but also that you're setting it up so that I know the purpose of the quote and that you understand what it means and how it relates back to that thesis. Everything should relate back to your thesis. The comment. So there's two of these. Once you've given a reference, it is important that you tie it back to your thesis statement and state its relevance to your stance. You're to write two comments. Sometimes it ends up being one, but that's okay. Here you should ensure that your reference is supported and is supporting the thesis. Sometimes your second comment is used to set up the next reference. And that's what I mean when I say that sometimes it's one. So, we see this process and you're to continually repeat it. There is a standard of excellence, but that is not required. I recommend doing the extra sentences if you choose, but you don't have to. And lastly, we have our transitions. These are how we go from one body paragraph to the next. A good transition can disconnect paragraphs and turn disconnected writing into a unified whole. Instead of treating paragraphs as separate ideas, transitions can help readers understand how paragraphs work together, reference one another, and build to a larger point. The key to producing a good transition is highlighting connections between corresponding paragraphs. So you reference the paragraph before with the next paragraph. And this can develop the important points to the readers. And I'm going to give a couple examples of what some opening transition statements look like right here. So we have plenty of examples. Sorry, my neck's bothering me. We have additive transitions. These are when you're adding to an idea that you've already given. We have the adversative. This is when you're going against something. We have casual transitions. These are when we're speaking more casually, or we're trying to be a little less direct and more general. And then we have sequential transitions. Think of these as kind of taking a step to the side, taking a step to the other side, and continuing with the same argument. Okay, so it's up to you to decide which of these you find most useful for your paper. Good luck, 20 Desk Shoes. Please be sure to set up a meeting with me if you're unsure about any of this essay process. Okay, I'll be reaching out to you guys throughout the week, and we're going to have a meeting on Monday morning.